name is Ashley, and I am the Teen Central Manager at the Plainfield-Guilford Township Public Library. Today, I'm going to be showing you how to make your own worry pet. With a worry pet, you can pet it, you can squeeze it, or you can throw it against the wall depending on your mood. To begin, here are the items that you'll need to get. You'll need to have some polyfill. Now this will not be enough. You will want to make sure you have a bag of it to spare. So polyfill, you'll want to have a fuzzy sock. I recommend a nice fuzzy sock. The fuzzier the better. If you don't have a fuzzy sock, that's okay. You can make one without a fuzzy sock as well. So fuzzy sock, you'll need some embroidery thread, a darning needle. For this, I just get a set of like 100 off of Amazon, but it is plastic, so it's a little less dangerous. Gonna need a pair of scissors, a black and either pink or red marker to do the cheeks, and then you'll also want to get a set of safety eyes. So each set of safety eyes also comes with a backing piece that you'll want to make sure you have as well. To begin, we are going to take our sock and we are going to cut it just below the ankle. So we just want the toe part of the sock. And I already have one that I was working on, so I'm going to go ahead and grab that one. And like I said, want to make sure that it's cut just below the ankle. So for this, try to get it a straight line if you can. So you just end up with the toe. The reason we do this is because it means you don't have to sew the other end, but it also means that if you are using the toe part and you have this part left over, you can also use this to make a second worry pet. You will just have to sew both ends instead of just the one. So let's go ahead and start making the worry pet. Now, before we start filling it with cotton or threading the top of it, we want to go ahead and put our safety eyes on. So like I said, each safety eye should have a backing piece. Whoop, if I can keep a hold of it. And the backing is curved. I cannot keep that a hold. And what we're going to do is we're going to put this piece, the peg, through the sock. And then the part that has the curve, the inside piece, will match up with that peg. So let me show you what I mean. So if this is going to be the top of our sock here, or the bottom even, let's go ahead and say it's going to be the bottom. So the part that's already sewed is going to be the top. So we want to have our eyes probably about right here. So I'm going to go ahead and take one of the safety eyes and I'm going to push that peg bottom through the sock. I'm just going to push it through. If you look on the inside, it comes right through. And I'm going to take that end piece and I'm going to put it on top of the safety eye. So now we have one eye. Let's go ahead and put on the second one. And when you're doing this, make sure you look at your sock so you get it even. Go ahead, put that through, push it through, and then put that end piece on. Push it all the way down. So now you have a pair of eyes on your worry pet. And yep, mine are a little off. That's okay. Next, you're going to grab some embroidery floss. And we are going to make this roughly about that long of a piece. I know it might be a little hard to see, so just judge the distance of my hands. We're going to go ahead and take our scissors and cut that embroidery floss. And then we are going to take our darning needle. We're going to thread our floss through it. And we're going to leave the end that we've threaded through, we're going to leave it about 5 or 6 inches long. And then we are not going to tie off our end, our tail either. We want this tail to be hanging and free. So we are going to do what's called a running stitch. A running stitch means you just go up and down through and around the piece. So I'm going to go through the top of the sock, and then I'm going to leave part of this tail hanging because I will use that at the end to cinch the top together. So now I just pushed it through the inside. So now I'm going to go back up to the outside of the sock, back down, back up, and what do you think's next? Probably guessed it. Back down and back up. And like I said, you're going to do that the entire way around the sock. Let me do that really quickly. And if you're following along, go ahead and just pause if you need to take a second longer to put your running stitch in the top of your sock. Just a couple more, down, up, down, down, up. All right, so I'm now back to where I began. So I now have both the piece that I was threading as well as the tail. And before I tie it off, I'm going to go ahead and get that polyfill, and we're going to stuff our worry pet. Now, as we do this, make sure that you are holding on to both pieces, both ends of the thread. That way you don't lose them as you're stuffing it. Just go ahead and hold on to those and put the polyfill inside your sock. Now, like I said, that amount of polyfill will probably not be enough to really fill the worry pet. So go ahead, if you have your bag of polyfill, grab another little handful of it and stuff that as well. Now, if the polyfill is coming out as you're trying to push it down, while you're holding on to your threads here, you're going to use your other hand, push it down and pull your threads. So that will help it stay closed. Now, we're going to go ahead and tie the ends of our thread together. So pull tightly and do a double knot so it doesn't come undone. Then you can kind of wiggle it around and kind of try to shape it. There's my little worry pet. Now, it does leave a little bit of a bump here. If you want, you can put your threads back through your needle and try to go back and forth over that to flatten it, or you can just leave it, it doesn't matter. But one thing you want is you're not going to want these threads hanging out. And if you cut them, you're still going to see them. So let me show you a trick of the trade, how to hide the ends of your thread. This also works if you're like crocheting things or knitting. It's a great little trick. So what we're going to do is we're going to put both threads through our needle, and we're going to go back down through where those threads are coming out. And we're going to push our needle all the way through our worry pet. So all the way through. Now you might be saying, well, now we just have the threads on another piece or on another side of it. But watch, we're going to go ahead and squeeze our worry pet, kind of flatten it so that, and pull our thread so it's all the way through. Now we're going to trim those ends. My scissors are a little dull. There we go. And watch what happens when we let go of our worry pet. Our threads disappear. They are now inside the worry pet. Now, last thing we need to do is we need to give him a little bit more of a face. So I'm going to grab my black marker, and I'm just going to give him a little bit of a smile. And if you're crafty, you could also use your embroidery thread to do a smile. And then let's give him some rosy cheeks. So I'm going to grab my pink marker. Like I said, a red would work as well. And I'm just going to put these a little bit under his eyes. And there we have it. Now we have a little worry pet that, once again, we can pet, we can squeeze, or we can throw. Thanks for joining me, and catch me next time for another fun craft.